morning, crafty friends. Welcome to Angela Shows You. I just wanted to take a few minutes and talk a little bit about material, fabric. The last few videos that we have done, we've talked a lot about the Cricut and materials that you can use for the Cricut and mats, and we've even worked through a couple of projects. So I have a video coming out, a sewing video about how to make an apron, and we walk through the cutting of the apron to making the waist straps and the neck straps and pockets and sewing it. So I thought that I would just take a quick minute and do a video a little bit about some of the materials that you can use when you are sewing. Now, I'm not talking about, like fancy things and articles of clothing. I'm not using satin. I'm not using a lot of lace, stuff like that. This is really more kind of just more of the more popular base materials. So, like you've got canvas. Canvas is a very heavy material. It's very durable. If it can be blended with some synthetic fibers and kind of makes it waterproof. Canvas is great if you are doing anything outdoors. I've seen some people that use canvas and they make pillows or like seat covers that they're going to be putting outside. So those are great ideas. And then of course there's canvas bags. You can either make a bag completely out of canvas. There's some people who use canvas on the bottom of the bag, so your kind of like maybe what would sit on the ground might be a canvas, and then the upper part of the bag might be made out of cotton or denim or some other material that is a little bit more on the sturdy side. So the canvas, so if the bottom of the bag, if you set it on the ground and it got dirty, the canvas would wipe cleaner. You might not have to wash it as often if you made like the whole bag out of cotton and you set it down and the bottom of the bag got dirty, might not just wipe off real super easy, so you would have to throw it into the washing machine. That's actually something that I've been considering more and more lately doing as well, is I've been making my tote bags and shopping bags purely out of cotton, and I have been considering making the bottom of the bag either a canvas or denim, or I've also tossed around a little bit of doing leather. So I think that that's something that we're going to be looking to do this coming fall. So more to come on that. So of course then we have cotton. Cotton is made just from natural cotton fibers from cotton plants, and it's kind of really the more popular. If you go into any of the stores, it seems like cotton takes up the vast majority of floor space. I know I have mostly cotton. I have a little bit of flannel, a little bit of fleece. I have a little bit of jersey material, but cotton does tend to be my personal go-to when we're sewing things. Assume that it's cotton unless I say that we're using something other than cotton. Then there's jersey material, which is soft, stretchy. It's more of a knit fabric. It was originally actually made from wool. I thought that was kind of interesting. Today, jersey material is usually more made from cotton or cotton blends and synthetic fibers. Jersey fabric, think t-shirts, maybe hoodies. So it is a little bit stretchier. If you're using jersey fabric, you're going to want to use a lot of pins and or clips, because it does tend to move around a lot when you're sewing it. And then there's leather. Leather is very thick and sturdy. Leather, of course, is made from animal hides and skins. Leather, so like I said, it's durable. It tends to be wrinkle resistant. So leather is a great option if you're not, unless you're buying a vegan leather. It's a really good option for bottoms of bags and purses. Just like canvas is, leather is great is that bottom, so that if you set it down on a ground and it got wet, or if you're at a park or the beach, your leather is going to it's going to wipe right off. Do know that if you're using leather, you are going to want to use a thicker needle. You wouldn't be able to just use your regular standard needle that you're using if you're sewing cotton. You can't use a regular needle when you're sewing leather. You're going to need a thicker needle. Otherwise, you run the risk of breaking the needle in your machine. I would assume probably you're going to want to look at your owner's manual. I don't want to give out any numbers of needles because every machine could be different as far as the thickness and what number is. Like, so for my machine, I have a brother. My standard go-to needle is a 8012, I think it's called. But there are thicker needles, so if I'm doing something with leather or something that needs a thicker, I have other needles that the head of it is bigger so that it can punch through the material as it's sewing along. The thinner needle that I would use wouldn't hold up to the constant pressure of punching into something thicker. So polyester is another great material. It's a man-made synthetic. It's very durable. If you're using your sewing machine in addition with your Cricut, if you're doing sublimation products, the higher the polyester count, the better your sublimation ink is going to absorb into those fibers. I know I've said it, and you'll see it in any other tutorial as well, and you see it like on Cricut. The lower polyester count with sublimation, you run the risk of the ink washing right out. And I've seen a lot of mixed reviews as well. There are sprays that you can spray cotton on to give it that coating that it needs to accept sublimation, but you do run the risk of it not holding up. But as far as sewing goes, polyester is a very good material. I've actually used some polyester to line tote bags. It just has a little bit different of a feel, but polyester is great. I know in the past, poly seems to have had a pretty bad reputation as, like being heavy and non-absorbent and itchy, but the shirt that I'm wearing is actually, it's a great material. I work out a lot, and a lot of my clothes are polyester because they're more breathable. I don't work out wearing cotton clothes because they don't absorb the sweat the way either actually I take that back. This is a smart wool. The way wool and polyester absorb that sweat so that the shirt doesn't feel as heavy. So don't shy away from polyester. Polyester can be a really great product to sew with. It's not real finicky in my experience either. And like chiffon is a slippery sheer material that, just like if you're going to be sewing with a jersey or a knit or something, you're going to want to pin the heck out of it because it's slippery, and so therefore when it's in your machine, you're going to want to sew slower. Take your time, pin it, either pin it and or clip it. Some people don't like pinning it because they don't want the little holes in it, so clips might be a better option so that you're not making any, there's little puncture wounds in the fabric. I would have to say that if you're new, something like a chiffon probably isn't going to be something that you want to get started using. It's harder to deal with. So, like a French terry, that's something soft and warm. It's very easy to sew with. It's great if you want to make hoodies. So we talked a little bit about jersey knits. I just wanted to additionally say that they do tend to be a little bit pricier. But they're thicker, so the quality is going to be there. And then, of course, there's quilting cotton. They do say that quilting cotton is not recommended for clothing unless you want something to be stiffer. So you might think, maybe like a pencil skirt might be a great option for a quilting cotton. But if, like, I make bowl cozies are made completely out of cotton, 100% cotton, and that's cotton, everything, cotton, batting, cotton, thread as well, pure cotton. And you can tell the cotton thread, at least the thread when I buy it like at Joann's, the cotton thread actually has a different color spool. So that's how I can tell the difference when I'm at home. Well, because the cotton thread that I buy from like Joann Fabrics is actually on a red spool, where the regular everyday polyester thread is on a white spool. So anyway, that's a little bit about some materials and some fabrics, things that we are going to be using in the upcoming projects that we are going to be making. So please subscribe to the channel because there's a lot coming up. Like I said, we've got that apron tutorial coming up. I'm also going to be doing a tutorial coming up on bowl cozies, and we're going to be doing a tutorial on tote bags as well. So feel free to subscribe to the channel. Angela Shows You. We've got a lot coming up over the next few weeks and months. And if you found this helpful, this video in particular helpful about some of the various types of fabric, there are so many out there. This really, we just very lightly scratch the surface of all the options that are out there for fabric. So please go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day.